The next young man that we have coming up to share his story, I've also had the honor and the privilege of watching him grow up in the faith as well. And he's got a powerful story, and I think you'll be blessed by hearing it. And I'm thankful that he serves the Lord now. Come on, please help me welcome Joshua McIntyre.
Oh no, don't stop cheering for me. Well, if you can't read, my name is Joshua McIntyre. Who is McIntyre? I don't know that person. That's not me. Well, I'm Joshua McIntyre. I'm taking the place of Joshua McIntyre. And I've already spoke at this event twice before now. And the way this all started, Daryl got an idea. He got fired up, and then he conned other people into it. And then we all got fired up. And then it was this word identity that kind of rested in, and it really didn't hit me until last night. And I found myself at Taco Mac at 11:30, writing on a napkin, "Who am I?" Who am I? I am a church kid. I knew my Bible, but I only read it when it was convenient or I needed immediate information. I knew about prayer. My parents raised me in the church. They taught me what was right and what was wrong. So it's not like I didn't know who God was. And my parents constantly told me about how much God had done for me. So I learned that he cared about me personally, and that's why I worshiped him. And then my dad went through some church hurt, and we switched churches. And then I went through some church hurt, and we switched churches. And then I went through more church hurt, and I switched churches. And I was in this place where I was on fire for God. And I began writing and preaching sermons, leading worship at a very young age. I was honestly killing it with this whole ministry, this church thing. Yeah, I knew how to talk the talk. Walking the walk, however. Who am I? I am a chameleon. My dad had aspired to be an actor growing up, and growing up with kids with many talents. Yes, I'm talented. He taught us what we wanted to know to help us grow and sharpen our skills. And what I learned is that I'm really good at acting, to the point where I could blend into any environment I wanted to. I was the church kid who watched anime, listened to rock, rap, R&B, pick a genre of music. I'm half white, I'm half black. I feel just as comfortable in the hood as I do the suburbs. I became a master of disguise. But I had two roles that I loved more than all the others, and it was the superhero and the rebel. See, the superhero, the ladies love the superhero. And even today, I still find myself battling this role, where it's, oh, she's in danger, watch this. And here comes Joshua soaring into her life, trying to do what God should be doing. Fix it. And then the rebel trying to fight back against my parents. Tall man, bad. And I stayed away from them, or tried to, because of who my parents were. I could barely take 5 steps in Douglasville without someone being like, you know, I saw Josh. See, Ryan's laughing because he knows how many times I got caught on something, and it was because somebody that I didn't even know my parents knew ratted me out. Why you snitching? I don't know why. But those were the two roles I loved. Who am I? I am jack of all trades. See, when you're hanging out with all these different groups and trying to blend in with everybody, you learn about everybody. You want to have a conversation about cars? Let's have a conversation about cars. Give me about 15 minutes to Google, though. 15 minutes. You want to talk about reptiles? Let's do it. You want to talk about sewing? I'm a guy, but here we are in this conversation. Let's do it. You want to talk about tapestry? You want to talk about cooking? Let's talk. And there I was, blending into the group. I began to learn any and everything to fit into any and every conversation in any environment. I've had lots of different titles: worship leader, lead singer, teacher, anointed. That's a word I've had thrown at me a lot. Party animal, weeb. For those of you who don't know anime, weeb is not a nice term. Pianist, etc. People called me different things, depending on who knew me or what they thought they knew. Who am I? I am a hopeless romantic. I said that at the last event. I got flamed for a little bit, but I'm gonna say it again. One of my favorite movies is The Notebook. I don't care how you look at me after this, but I love that movie. Why? Because that was a dedicated man. He wrote 365 days worth of letters, and remember, I'm not gonna say that, Lord. He wrote 365 days worth of letters. She didn't get one of them. She came back with a bad attitude. Anyway, go watch the movie. You'll find yourself enjoying it. Being a hopeless romantic meant something. It meant I was easily distracted by females. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Bathsheba. Who am I? I am broken and breaking. At this point, I've been hurt so many times, and I've done just as much damage. Because there are always two sides to a coin. I could sit here and tell you that it was just me who got hurt, that I'm the only one who experienced the pain, and no one in the world knows how I feel. But there I was, doing just as much damage to somebody else. Who am I? I am depressed. Letting the loneliness sink in and take root in my life. But don't show them you're weak. Shut up, smile, and say it's okay. I say I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, oh, I'm fine, hey, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, say it's under control, but it's not, and you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it, when being honest is the only way to fix it. Don't be honest, Josh. Honesty is weakness. Who told you that? Who am I? December 5th, 2018. I am suicidal. God, I don't know why you have me here. What's the point of this world? If you really valued me, you don't even have to love me, just give me a sign. I found that note a few days ago. I wrote that. And there I was in my room, sitting in darkness, belt around my neck, ready to close the door. And then a Snapchat, out of nowhere. someone I hadn't spoken to in months. By the way, I hadn't been in church for a while. I was out partying. Anyone who knows the party scene, say less. I get a Snapchat. It was just someone asked me if I was okay. I didn't even respond to the Snapchat. I just sat there and cried. Keeping it real, I cried. Who am I? I'm on my way back. Went back to church looking for the wrong kind of love and got involved in another bad relationship. Because why not? Who am I? I am chosen. Matthew 22:14 says this. Identity tour. For many are called, but few are chosen. Someone called me chosen one time. And that was 2 years ago. And for whatever reason, that word has followed me. See, all are called, many are called to Christ. But there are a few of us who really don't get a say. He chose you specifically. And the entire time when I'm out there drinking, when I'm out there doing the party scene, when I'm out there having sex before marriage, by the way, 1 Corinthians 6, it'll tell you very clearly, sexual immorality brings a ton of other stuff. You want to find out how much sin is packed behind sexual immorality? Let me tell you. You have to lie. You have to deceive. Not only the people around you, but yourself. Lying and deception. Do you know how many other things you have to do to keep those two things up? Tell one lie, and then someone asks you a question about that lie. You have to tell 2 lies now. All are called, but few are chosen. Here we are, still in 2019. August 25th. Yeah, the day before my sister's birthday. Happy birthday. I got into a car accident. This is what's my remnant of that accident, the scar across my forehead. I got T-boned, sent off into a ditch, and I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. There are a few things to check here so we can get a checklist of all the things I did wrong. Seatbelt? No. 1 a.m.? Yeah. Shouldn't have been out anyway. Nothing good happens after 11 o'clock, y'all. Keep your kids inside. See, they're laughing because they know I'm right. My relationship with God? But when God sits you down to talk to you, he puts you on your butt. Only he knew I had a pretty thick skull. So there I am in a ditch. And just before I close my eyes for what I think is going to be the last time, I say, God, not like this. I close my eyes, I open them. I'm in a hall. Just trying to paint this picture for you as clear as I can. It's a hallway, lots of doors on each side. Next to each door is a plaque. And the plaque is silver, and it's just got a few words on it. I look at the first plaque, and it was like, Disney's memory from Disney. And so I opened the room. This is all very organized, by the way. I I open the room, I go in, and there's a file cabinet. I open the file cabinet. I'm going through, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't remember that. Close that one, walk out of the room, back in the hallway, and we're just walking down, looking at all these different plaques. This is my life. And then I get to these last two doors, parallel from each other. Now, the other ones have been kind of staggered, but these two are parallel. On my right, it's the people that I've talked to about God, and on my left is the people that I haven't. Me being a person who likes to feel good about myself, I walk this way. And I get in the room, and it's a very organized room. It's like, I won't even give you an inch dynamic. You don't need that. Just know that it was a very organized room. Once again, file cabinets. I open a drawer. I look in. I recognize like 2-3 of the faces and a bunch of others that I didn't recognize. Close the drawer. Why? Because when you talk to one person, you toss a rock into water. Ripple effect. The one person that you don't talk to never talks to someone else, and so on and so on. Just in case you thought that talking to someone or someone else is going to do your job for you. Feeling great about myself leaving that room, I walk into the other one, and let me tell you, God humbles you. Warehouse. And here I am, staring at failure. I walk out of the room. I was like, God, what can I do different? Close my eyes, open them again. I'm back on the other side of the hallway. Only now the plaque on each door has changed, and right underneath it, it says covered by the blood. So I'm walking down this hallway, and no matter what portion of my life, whether it was good or bad, covered by the blood. I get to the end of the hallway and I see a green door. It wasn't there last time, but it is this time, so why not? I open the door, bright white light, yes, like the movies, blinding, and then God has a sense of humor. He's just chilling there, roasting marshmallows. Why not? He says, Joshua, we got to talk. And so here on earth, it was about 3 minutes. But for me, it felt like months. Having a conversation with the king people tried to tell me didn't exist. He's real. I've seen him. I saw him before I saw him. I saw him in existence. But then he just showed me his face. And after this conversation, I won't go through it all because it was a lot. He said, I need you to go back. I said, no thanks. I'm in the presence of peace. Where else do I need to go? He said, don't be complacent. I need you to go back. I said, no. He asked me 3 more times. No. He said, Joshua, if you go back, I will show you something amazing that only you will see. I said, okay. If I go back, you're going to show me something amazing, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay. Send me back. As soon as I said that, my eyes open and paramedics are pulling me out of the vehicle. The paramedic who pulled me out, he was like, hey man, what's your name? I was like, I need to pray with you. He said, I need to pray with you. I was like, no, you don't understand. Let me pray. He said, no, let me pray. So he's praying over me. By the way, his name is Jonathan. Jonathan is praying over me, which is kind of funny. Jonathan's praying over me in the EMT, and they drive me to a church parking lot because that is the only place nearby with enough space for a helicopter to come in and land. And then I get life flighted by my helicopter pilot, whose name was also Joshua. And Joshua prayed in tongues over me for 15 minutes to Atlanta West Metro. I was in and out, but I could hear him praying. Who am I? I am forgiven. See, there's a lot of stuff that my dad necessarily isn't aware of, so I will not make you aware of. Yo, when I tell you I know where I should be right now, I'm telling you I know I should be in jail. I'm telling you I know I should be dead. And I'm telling you that God forgave me. He said he's going to redeem everything. Who am I? In the face of identity tour, who am I? Who God calls me to be. Diamond hit on it. What are your fruits? What are your talents? What are your gifts? For me, I'm a teacher, I'm an innovator, and I'm a musician. And I wrote these down last night. As a teacher, I break down difficult concepts for everyone to understand. As an innovator, I can create and build upon ideas in a way that helps others. And as a musician, this was the request I made of God when I was very, very young, and it came to my remembrance yesterday. God, if people look at me and my talents, I will point them back to you. Who are you? This is a real question that you need to sit down, grab a whiteboard, throw your name in the middle of the whiteboard, and tell me 3 things about yourself. And I promise off of those 3 things, you're going to start to see everything else unravel. A musician, that means I play the piano, play the bass, I play the guitar, I play the xylophone, I play the drums. I'm a producer, I write songs, I'm a songwriter. I like to rap, I do that. That's just off a musician. Who are you? And are you willing to be what God has called you to be? I am not a perfect person. I've definitely pointed out more of my flaws to you strangers than I want to. But what I learned very quickly is that the enemy never comes for you in your strong point. See, he never came for me when I was doing worship. He never tried to tell me, oh, Josh, you suck at playing instruments. You're a horrible singer. He never tried to tell me that. He said, Bathsheba, watch this, Delilah. I was like, okay. Keep it real. My message to you is simply this. Ask yourself the question, who are you? And then once you think you've decided who you are, throw that next to the mirror. It's called the Bible. If who you think you are is not lining up with the word, change it. If that steps on your toes, guess what? I stepped on mine first. Be who God called you to be. Do what you're supposed to do. Be where you're supposed to be. Doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now is not a time to be complacent. If you think it is, look at where America's at right now. I could really go on about that one, but I'll leave it alone. God is shaking things up. This is the threshing floor. He's sifting the chaff from the wheat. And what I hope this evening and this morning is that I'm surrounded by actual men None here? Can I get a show of hands if you think you're a man? Okay. We got a lot of men in here. All right. Then do what God asked you to do.